Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to go over some of the changes that are happening in the world today. And it's primarily around artificial intelligence. Should we be afraid of it? How do we prepare for it? How can we not be victims of losing our job to an AI, whether it be a software, a robot, or some type of intelligence that's artificial. In addition to that, I'm also going to talk about a podcast that I've been wanting to start for quite some time now. So this will serve as an introduction to my podcast and also as an awareness as to what is happening in the near future due to artificial intelligence. So as far as artificial intelligence, on November 30th, OpenAI, released ChatGPT. And what that did actually to Microsoft, to Google, to Facebook and a lot of big corporations, I kind of shook them up a little bit. But shortly thereafter, I saw Microsoft started investing $10 billion into artificial intelligence. Saw Google started releasing their own artificial intelligence, and Facebook and other big companies are doing the same as well. They are gearing up for this competition. Now, as human beings, one thing that we can say is we always make things better. Things don't normally get worse. And you can see this by, if you go back to the first car that we built, you can see the glass that we use to the glass we use today, the engines, and how fast they used to go before versus how fast they go today. You can also see the technology in those vehicles, when they started to right now. And you don't have to go that far to see how good we have come and how fast things are changing. You can only go back to the first computer, which was the size of a closet. And nowadays, your phone is 100 times more powerful than that. And that was not too long ago. You can also go back to, there's so many examples that we can use as far as things that have gotten better, like the first rocket that went to the moon and how inefficient it was and how it completely you just send it out and you lost all the money, to the rockets that SpaceX is creating right now that go up and come back down, and we can actually go all the way to Mars now with this rocket. So we don't make things worse, we make things better. And the reason why I share this with you is because artificial intelligence is not going away, and there's nothing to be afraid of. There's a lot of change, and with change comes opportunity. So don't be afraid of change. Just learn how to position yourself and strategize so that you can benefit from the change. If you see it coming in 5-10 years, or even a year, just prepare for it so that way you can adjust. And that's primarily what I want to do with my podcast, is just prepare people and educate them to the best of my knowledge on what I've learned and what I've seen that is coming, so that we don't really fall behind. Like, I hate to bring up this old Blockbuster Video example, but Blockbuster Video did not see Netflix coming, even though Netflix was coming around and it was definitely making a move, but they completely ignored it. And 2 years later, Netflix took over and completely crushed $6 billion company to bankruptcy. You can go and see what Uber and Lyft did to the taxi drivers. Taxi drivers completely ignored them and thought it wasn't going to really make a difference, but now you probably see about 80% Uber or Lyft drivers versus taxi cabs. So change is inevitable. There's nothing wrong with change. It's a normal part of the process of evolving and being human. But we don't want to fall behind it once again. If you see a lot of fast food restaurants, when you walk in, there's no longer a cashier right there. The human is slowly being deleted, and they're actually putting kiosks where you get to place your order, and they'll point you at the kiosk in some locations that won't even take your order. You can go to a lot of fast food, a lot of grocery stores, when there used to be nothing but cashier stands. Now you have nothing but self-checkout stands run by one individual. So little by little, again, they're getting rid of the human. You can go back to the old Ford plants, and you will see that there was probably like 80% human labor and a little bit of robotics actually that were in there assembling everything. And I was actually at a Ford plant less than a month ago, and things have turned around. Now it's like 80% robots and like less human beings building the vehicles. And there's plenty of examples where you can see that. There's people at the receptionist nowadays. There's apps that can actually replace a receptionist, and they can, schedule an appointment and do a lot of those things for you. Sometimes when you call a service number, you'll get an artificial intelligence. So once again, we don't make things worse, we make things better. And if you see AI in its infant stages, just know that just like the computer, just like the car, just like the first blocky, ugly cell phone that we had, and now we have this beautiful, slick cell phones that are 10 times more powerful, AI is also going to get better, and it is going to get more powerful, and there's nothing to be afraid of, once again, if you prepare yourself correctly. And by preparing yourself correctly, just pretty much studying what's going on around you, becoming aware from not just this podcast that I'm starting, but there's so much more information besides that, and just getting yourself ahead of the game. That way you don't fall behind and you don't get replaced by any robot, machine, or software. But I did read an article that kind of interests me, that it was from future.com, and according to them, by 2050, over half of the jobs will be deleting the human, and they will be taken over by either a robot or artificial intelligence or some type of software. And that kind of sparked me, it motivated me to start this podcast. I've been wanting to start it for a while, but it kind of pushed me a little bit further, so here I am. Once again, there's nothing to be afraid of. What I will be sharing is just things that you can do to get yourself ahead of the game. The number one way that I know to not be replaced by a robot in any job is primarily to become my own boss. I have been self-employed for over 3 years. I'm going on 4 years. Still been able to pay my bills without skipping a beat. Last year alone, I invested $25,000 into both my business. I know it's not a lot of money, but to me it was a substantial investment, which was worth it 100%. And I'm still growing, which is more important. I'm not stagnant. I'm still growing, and I'm still investing in my business. I'm investing in counseling, coaching, and growing along the way. And I will be sharing with you the strategies that have helped me and the ones that actually have been a complete waste of time. And if you guys have any questions, or you have any topics that you would like for me to talk about, by all means, please let me know. I will be uploading this directly to my podcast, and you guys can actually look and stay tuned for future episodes. Have a great day.